like Shedeur Sanders allegedly could be getting the hell out of Cleveland. I just want to let y'all know my personal opinion on this whole Shedeur leaving thing, the whole Shedeur getting traded. Now, I want Shedeur to get out of Cleveland. I feel like the organization has not been fair to him. They have not been giving him his just due, I should say. And me personally, I feel like he should leave. Now, with that being said, do I feel like the Cleveland Browns is going to trade Shedeur Sanders? No, I do not. I don't feel like they're going to.
Shedeur Sanders' name just detonated across the AFC trade wires, and this bombshell is hotter than a stadium grill on game day. Everyone's losing their minds, wondering who's trading, who's panicking, and who's brave enough to make a move this wild. It's not just noise. It's chaos in real time, and the internet can't get enough of it. By the time you finish this, you'll see why Shedeur's name has the league spinning like a broken turntable, and why NFL fans are practically screaming through their screens right now. It all kicked off with a single tweet, or maybe just a rumor whispered in the right DM, a digital spark that set the whole football world ablaze. Shedeur Sanders' name popped up in what insiders are calling a blockbuster AFC trade, and boom, the web went nuclear. This wasn't your casual, oh cool kind of moment. This was cancel your meeting, grab your phone, and refresh every sports app you own energy. Reporters scrambled, fan accounts exploded, and somewhere out there, a merch guy just fainted because Shedeur jerseys were about to fly off shelves like fireworks. Picture this.
Business is it when you've got a 5'9" quarterback running around and could twist an ankle, and Shedeur would have to play Sunday in Foxborough, and he's not getting any reps? That seems like bad preparation, no?
It does. You wouldn't question it if you know you had a backup.
If it was Kelly Holcomb, yeah, right. If it was, yeah, right. I wouldn't. It's not. It's a kid they haven't. He hasn't taken first-round team reps with anybody yet.
It's almost like, you know, the coach is saying, okay, you gave me 2 rookie quarterbacks. I'm going to prepare one of them, and we'll see what happens if he goes down.
It's Monday morning, your coffee's already cold, and suddenly your feed looks like a war zone of hot takes and wild theories. Shedeur Sanders, the same kid who made highlight reels look like slow-motion practice drills, just hijacked your timeline. Now every analyst, GM, and armchair expert is pretending they knew it all along. Yeah, right, these people couldn't predict a coin toss last week, but now they're all prophets of the Shedeur era. And the trade chatter, it's leaking everywhere like a busted pipe. Every AFC team's either scheming, sweating, or straight up praying they can land him. Word is this man could walk into any locker room and rewrite the entire offensive system with a single grin. Picture it. Coaches pacing, shirts drenched in stress sweat, coordinators making PowerPoints nobody asked for, and fans updating fantasy teams mid-rumor, hoping their Wi-Fi somehow influences destiny. It's wild, it's hilarious, and it's pure NFL drama at its finest. Meanwhile, the media completely lost its mind. Networks went into DEFCON 1. Analysts were waving around charts that looked more like conspiracy boards than stats.
Shedeur Sanders stays in Cleveland, or Shedeur Sanders goes to New York to the Jets. But that's not the only team in the mix. There are others. There are other fan bases screaming for their team to trade for Shedeur Sanders. And yet the Cleveland Browns won't even put him in.
And no one had a clue what they were actually talking about. Some genius even decided the most important metric was how many touchdown dances Shedeur pulled off in high school. It was madness on live TV, and viewers ate it up like halftime nachos. Ratings spiked through the roof. Social feeds erupted in pure chaos. Memes were born, then destroyed, then reborn again 3 minutes later, because that's how the internet rolls in 2025. And you just know Shedeur is sitting somewhere, feet kicked up, scrolling through his mentions, sipping something that probably costs more than your rent. He's calm, cool, and watching the league panic like he just dropped a financial nuke on the AFC. He doesn't even need to post. His silence is the loudest flex of all. Now, imagine you're a GM getting that alert. Shedeur Sanders might be available. Boom! Instant heart attack. That's half excitement, half existential crisis. Do you trade your star receiver for a kid who hasn't even hit his prime yet? Do you call your mom for advice or just throw your phone across the room and pretend you never saw it? Every front office in the league's on edge, pacing.
It stated Shedeur Sanders' name surfaced in blockbuster trade proposal to QB needy AFC team. Shedeur Sanders' name emerged in the blockbuster proposal. Goes on to say, let me see here. Since the Cleveland Browns traded veteran quarterback Joe Flacco, rookie Shedeur Sanders has moved up to second string. And what's crazy is that we all know that Shedeur Sanders is listed as the second string quarterback, but what really pissed everybody off today and yesterday is not only Kevin Stefanski stating Shedeur Sanders haven't received any first team reps. You got offensive coordinator Tommy Rees double stamping it, bro. And that's, I don't know, man. It's looking weird, dog. Weird as hell. Now, however, there's no one
panicking and praying they don't end up on the wrong side of this story. Meanwhile, some desperate fan somewhere actually launched a GoFundMe for a Shedeur Sanders shrine. I'm not even kidding. The internet's gone completely feral over this rumor. Part genius, part chaos, all entertainment. And when that kind of energy hits, it spreads faster than wildfire. This isn't just a story, it's a social media earthquake shaking every corner of football fandom. And let's talk about the man at the center of this storm, Shedeur Sanders. The dude's thriving. Every new notification on his phone probably hits harder than an espresso shot. Agents are blowing up his line, sponsors are fighting for his attention, and coaches, they're basically begging for a chance to get 2 minutes on the phone with him. And what's he stressed about? Not contracts, not pressure, just which pair of cleats will look the cleanest when that trade call finally drops. Priorities, baby. This is the modern NFL, and Shedeur Sanders is the face of it. But the deeper the rumor goes, the wilder the theories get. Suddenly, fans are whispering that Shedeur's been secretly training with a legendary quarterback out in the desert, Rocky style, sand, sweat, and silence.
The Browns trade Shedeur Sanders after this season.
No, I'm not trading him.
What are you gonna do with him? Let him sit there? Oh, are you punishing him, or what?
I'm letting him sit there.
So he just sits there.
If I am not getting a fourth, a third, like if I'm not getting more than a fifth round pick from him, I'm not trading him.
Well, you're not gonna get a fourth or a third because he went fifth. He went in the fifth round.
No, do you get my point though?
Yeah, I do.
Like you're gonna pay. If you're not gonna pay, you're just gonna sit in my crappy house as a Lambo, just like right there in the front. You can just look at it.
Others are swearing he's being telepathically guided by football spirits, like he's the chosen one of the gridiron. And of course, there's always that one guy online claiming it's all an elaborate marketing scheme. Just to sell more snack packs during prime time? Yeah, because clearly the league needs a snack tie-in to survive. Meanwhile, the rest of us are sitting here just watching the circus unfold. Popcorn in hand, group chats blowing up, and everyone pretending they're an NFL insider. Because nothing this week, or maybe this whole season, is topping Shedeur Sanders possibly switching teams. It's not a story, it's a full-on event. Fantasy leagues? Oh, they've turned into psychological thrillers overnight. One wrong draft pick, one rumor taken too seriously, and your whole season's cooked. All because Shedeur Sanders exists and dares to keep fans guessing. The man's not even traded yet, and he's got more buzz than a stadium full of drones on overdrive. Every camera, every mic, every meme, all orbiting him like he's the sun in a very chaotic football galaxy. And before these trade talks completely hijack the entire NFL, let's rewind for a second.
Since that he's a second string now and he's not getting any first team reps, it also doesn't make sense that he's not being considered to play any games this year, regardless of what we've been hearing. But this is the first time I've actually heard something that has to do with the planning and the development of any of the Browns quarterbacks, especially when it comes to Shedeur. They are being honest. Well, he is being honest. Tommy Rees is being honest with saying that, like, look, he's not going to get a ton of looks, but we're going to maximize whatever we give him. And it's not what we want to hear, but you know what? It makes sense now. Because the first few people, and when I say few, I mean 4 or 5 people that y'all put in front of the media when y'all ask about Shedeur, other than saying, I don't know or no, you actually gave a thought out plan that we can go.
Back to Cleveland. Because honestly, nothing screams chaos louder than a franchise treating a star quarterback like the world's most expensive bench decoration. It's absurd, it's dramatic, and it's exactly why this saga just keeps getting wilder by the hour. You'd think Cleveland found a flawless diamond, polished it up, then said, nah, let's just keep it in a display case and stare at it sometimes. Because that's exactly how they've treated Shedeur Sanders. The man wasn't just benched, he was cinematically benched. Like the Browns were filming a slow-motion montage titled, How to Waste a Superstar in Real Time. Fans are watching this disaster unfold and asking the obvious, does Coach Stefanski have some secret vendetta against quarterbacks with actual skill? Some fans even joke that Stefanski must have mistaken Shedeur for a decorative throw pillow that occasionally tosses footballs for fun. It's comedy. If it wasn't so tragic, Shedeur's stat sheet looks like a work of art that nobody's allowed to hang up. The kid's got a cannon for an arm. He could throw a spiral clean through a tornado and still hit a receiver's chest plate. Yet every Sunday, there he is.
Every team that I've played on, the backup always, all right, practice goes like this. You have in team run 8 to 12 plays, depending on what you guys are working on. Then you go team pass, same thing, 8 to 12 plays. And you go 7-on-7, 8 to 12 plays, and you may do that twice. Every section of that, the backup is going to get 2 to 4 reps. Every time.
Collecting splinters, watching others get his snaps like he's an understudy in a play he wrote himself. Meanwhile, Cleveland's offensive line, those poor guys probably have his throwing motion memorized by now. They see him sling lasers in practice and whisper, man, if only we could use this during an actual game. But no, Coach Stefanski seems more interested in running some mystical quarterback rotation ritual nobody understands. The fans are done playing nice. Every time the Browns lose, you can feel that collective Ohio groan shaking through the air. Maybe if Shedeur was playing, it's become a chant, a meme, a movement. And Shedeur, the man's got the patience of a saint trapped in purgatory. You just know he's screaming on the inside, but his face, cool as ice. That poker face could win tournaments. Maybe that's his secret training while the team wastes his prime. But it's deeper than just sitting out. It's about opportunity being stolen.
In this season, Pittsburgh is coming. Baltimore is coming. The real Wolves is coming. Now, I am praying to God that Shedeur gets an opportunity to show what he can really do. And I think that would be probably the best thing for him. But knowing the Cleveland Browns, they dumbass gonna trade him.
Quarterbacks are supposed to grow through reps, real hits, real pressure, real lights. Instead, Shedeur's been trapped in a bizarre Cleveland time loop where he practices like a superstar but plays like a ghost. It's like telling a concert pianist, stay in your room, kid, just play scales while the amateurs headline the tour. It's not development, it's detention. And somehow the Browns are acting like that's a strategy. At this point, the silence around Shedeur Sanders has turned into a roar that can't be ignored. Week after week, his talent just sits there, polished, ready, and wasting away on the bench. The whispers have grown into full-on shouts. Analysts are dissecting every rumor like it's a crime scene. Every possible trade, every team fit, every wild hypothetical that might finally free him from the system that's been chaining him down. The Browns are starting to look like someone who bought $1 million sports car and refuses to drive it, just keeps it parked, staring at it like, yeah.
This become real. The Cleveland Browns send Shedeur Sanders and their Jacksonville first-round pick to the New York Jets for Garrett Wilson. Now, I understand, a lot of you want Shedeur Sanders to get an opportunity and for Garrett Wilson to have a change of scenery. But I just don't see this trade happening. While I do think the Jets are going to be looking for quarterbacks on the market, I don't think Shedeur Sanders is one of the guys on the block right now. Especially because Cleveland's still trying to figure out what they have in these two rookie quarterbacks. And right now, a lot of their game plan involves figuring out what they have right now in Dylan Gabriel, and by the end of the season, knowing what they have in Shedeur Sanders so that they can approach the draft this coming offseason. Now, I'm sure Browns fans would love Garrett Wilson as much as Jets fans would love Shedeur Sanders.
It's pretty. What's the point of owning something that powerful if you're too scared to hit the gas? Shedeur Sanders isn't collecting dust. He's absorbing everything. Watching every play, memorizing every flaw, probably cataloging his teammates' mistakes in his mind like a coach trapped inside a player's body. The man's got the IQ of a chess grandmaster and the arm strength of a comic book hero, and still, Kevin Stefanski treats him like a fancy backup driver's set, great for display, but never for action. It's almost disrespectful at this point. Every substitution Stefanski makes lights up social media like a fireworks finale. Fans go wild, hashtags trending, memes flying, analysts yelling across panels like it's a courtroom drama. Because Shedeur Sanders isn't just a name now, he's a movement. The NFL's version of a guaranteed lottery ticket that everyone wants to cash in on. Every sports show, every fan forum, every podcast is debating one thing: who deserves him more? Mock press conferences are popping up online for imaginary trades. GMs from rival teams are walking past Cleveland scouts at events trying to make eye contact like, hey, if you ever wake up, call us. The irony?
I don't really care about the Cleveland Browns, so I'm not going to fight their battles. I'll let Josina Anderson take care of that. All I'm saying is I see a talent, a guy I think we all talked about him as a guy that could at least be a serviceable starting quarterback in the NFL. They are not giving him a chance in Cleveland. If I'm Darren Muji, I call up my my contemporaries in Cleveland, and I say, here's a 5th-round pick back. Here's your 5th back. Let's get Shedeur in here, and let's see what the kid has got, because
Cleveland's got the golden ticket right in their hands, and they don't even realize it. Meanwhile, across the league, fans from every corner are watching their own teams mutter, we could have him if Cleveland ever opens their eyes. That kind of FOMO, it's deadly. And through all the noise, all the speculation, Shedeur stays cool, calm in the storm. You can almost picture him late at night, scrolling through trade rumors, visualizing the day he finally breaks free, stepping onto a new field, wearing new colors, finally unleashed to throw touchdowns instead of watching them from the sidelines. Because when that day comes, the league won't just notice, it'll erupt. Cleveland somehow doubled down on what fans are now calling the Shedeur paradox. A strategy so bizarre, it sounds like performance art disguised as football. You keep a generational talent on your roster, but never actually use him. You tease greatness, dangle potential, and deliver absolutely nothing. It's like watching a magician who keeps saying, for my next trick, but never pulls the rabbit out of the hat. Behind the scenes, whispers swirl like storm clouds, rumors of blockbuster trades, draft picks bundled like poker chips, and mysterious players to be named later.
You have no use for Shedeur, play him, increases draft stock, increases trade value, and then make the trade. The Baltimore Ravens already want Shedeur. By the end of the trade deadline, they might trade for Shedeur knowing, hey, we're not going to play Lamar Jackson the rest of the season. We're eliminated from the playoffs. Cooper Rush, he's not our future. Snoop Huntley's been here for 4 years, and he's cool, but we know his ceiling. And more than anything, the Ravens know how to manage a personality like Shedeur. They're not scared of those personalities. They got Lamar Jackson. They had Ray Lewis. They had Terrell Suggs. They had Ed Reed. Like, the Ravens aren't intimidated by guys with big personalities, by guys with aura, by guys with flash. So if you have no use for Shedeur, play him, increases draft stock, increases trade value. And
that sound ripped straight from a Hollywood script. Each supposed deal has its own subplot, its own fan theory, its own drama. Twitter threads read like detective novels. Who's leaking, who's bluffing, who's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers? The truth? Nobody knows. Analysts keep ranking potential trade scenarios with spreadsheets and serious faces, but come on, half of them are just guessing. And honestly, that wild speculation is half the fun. Fans are already fantasy drafting Shedeur to every team imaginable. Some picture him joining a desperate AFC squad that needs a savior, instantly flipping the playoff race on its head. Others imagine Cleveland fans left clutching draft picks, a cranky coach, and a locker room echoing with regret. It's tragic comedy in real time, and the internet can't look away. Instagram highlight reels are blowing up, TikToks are choreographing imaginary touchdown dances, and merch sales are exploding like fireworks because people love a star in waiting. Even benched, Shedeur's name alone moves markets. The whole situation has turned into the perfect storm. part absurd, part electric, and completely addictive. It's chaos wrapped in suspense, served with a side of, what are they thinking? And right in the middle of it all sits Shedeur Sanders. Cool, collected, untouchable. The calm eye of the hurricane. You just know he's sitting on that sideline with a quiet grin, watching the madness swirl, maybe even practicing a few victory moves in front of the locker room mirror while Stefanski gives another cryptic, "We're thinking long-term" interview. The contrast is unreal. The kid could launch a 70-yard touchdown in his sleep.
Right, it's just a little rumor I heard on Instagram of all websites that they want to put Shedeur Sanders on the Miami Dolphins. I don't really think highly of Shedeur Sanders or Colorado Buffalo, honestly, but I am tired of Tua, so I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, Shedeur Sanders on the Miami Dolphins, I'm wearing my Tua jersey right now. Ironically, I say that. But my question is, will he stay healthy? Can he make it to the playoffs? Is he as good as everyone says he is? And apparently, from what I'm reading, is Deion Sanders wants him on the Dolphins, but I don't know about this yet.
And people would still debate whether he's earned the right to play. It's not football anymore. It's theater, and Cleveland's putting on a sold-out show. The trade rumors are now stretched so tight they're about to burst like a parade balloon ready to blow. Every phone in the AFC seems to be buzzing. Calls, whispers, coded texts flying through the league. Teams are circling, agents are lurking, and Cleveland's front office, they're frozen, trapped between pride and pure indecision. You can almost hear that deep sigh echoing from every GM's office as they refresh their inbox, praying Cleveland finally pulls the trigger. Each time a new leak drops, the internet erupts all over again. Social media catches fire, fantasy leagues crumble, and fans start imagining a brand new football universe, one where Shedeur Sanders finally gets unleashed. It's chaos dressed as poetry. The man's got it all. Elite talent, high IQ, charisma for days, and a fan base begging for him to start. Yet here he is, trapped in a coaching decision that feels more like performance art than strategy. It's tragic, hilarious, and painfully Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders is too skilled to sit, too magnetic to ignore, and too composed to flinch under this circus of noise. The fans are stuck in emotional purgatory, angry, hopeful, exhausted.
Offense should go and trade for Shedeur Sanders. Tua clearly is not that guy. Granted, you got money tied into him. So if that's the reason fans are going to say why they ain't going to get Shedeur, that's fine. That's fair. But just if they plan on getting rid of Tua, turn the ball over, which I think they plan to do sooner rather than later, it's just if somebody will take his contract, why not go get Shedeur? You can probably get him for a low price, and he can come in and he can't be any worse than what Tua's been. Why not get Shedeur?
While Coach Stefanski hides behind buzzwords like long-term vision and development process. Please, the only thing developing right now is the league's impatience. Across the NFL, execs are sharpening pencils, updating spreadsheets, and waiting, just waiting, for the moment when Cleveland finally caves and sets this story on fire. Because when that call comes, when Shedeur finally gets traded and steps onto a field that actually lets him play, it's going to shake the AFC to its core. The irony is thick enough to cut with a knife. A player built for dominance, trapped by a system too stubborn to set him free. Yet every fan, analyst, and influencer is counting down the seconds until destiny wins the argument. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another name in the trade column anymore. He's a full-blown symbol, a walking reminder of what happens when talent meets mismanagement, when potential collides with politics. He's the face of everything wild, unpredictable, and gloriously chaotic about the NFL. So buckle up, because when that trade finally hits, the whole league's about to feel it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this madness, and I'll see you on the next one.